Good afternoon. It is Monday, and the reason I'm on today, I think we left off at age 7, and we're going to 7 and 9 when the adoption went through, and they ended up adopting myself and my 2 brothers, so we were able to be adopted as a family, which was great. And the one thing I do want to say is be patient with children when they're of middle-aged. Give them understanding. Like in my case, not only, changing last names normal when a child is adopted, but when you're looking at a child being adopted at a little bit older age, I was already in 2nd grade, and they also changed my first name. So it was one of those where I used to get in trouble a lot because I kept writing my first name versus, not only did I get in trouble with the teacher, I also had to get, talked to or what have you when I was at home. So the whole thing was very unusual. And then, of course, there was I'm saying 7 to 9 because then my parents ended up getting a divorce and got separated from my brothers again. Two of my two biological brothers and my sister went with our father to another state, and my other adopted brother and myself stayed behind with the mother. So during that time period, divorce. Anytime a child is going through divorce, and I think even nowadays they require you to go to parenting classes and do things like this. And therapy is really good for children so that they know how to deal with the emotions of, yes, I still have a mother and father, but they're in separate homes, and, visitation and how things like that work. So it's real important to be able to assist them in those areas. And then, of course, with that, anxiety was one of the things that ended up having during that time period. And then, of course, still going through mental abuse and physical abuse. And when I say mental abuse, it was not until my last relationship ended, and I think that was in 2018, that I knew more, between 2013 and 18, that I figured out about narcissism. And I had no clue until that time as actually what that meant. And the control and humiliation and giving people shame and all this stuff. And realized that being an empath, I had been attracting that since I was a child, since I was going through it as a child. And then as an adult, that's what I was attracting. So all I can say is it's real important that people reach out for assistance when they need it and when they're trying to figure things out for themselves. It's very important, and there's always assistance in anything that you can do, especially nowadays, because they even do a lot of stuff, telehealth, going through video calls and being able to get assistance when you need it. So that's pretty much all I have to talk about during that time period. And nothing's ever all bad, because, this is when I got into sports and gymnastics and was getting to do things that I had never been able to do before. And so that's the one thing you have to remember is, even though you're now learning different things, nothing ever lasts. Everything's always forever changing. And so it's accepting change and moving with change and evolving as you learn lessons and you grow. That is what this life is all about. There's not one of us, once we leave here, there's debate in regards to that, but I do believe in reincarnation. So if you don't learn all your lessons, you're going to come back and you're going to learn those lessons. Until you evolve to the point of full, I think, Christ consciousness, and then you can go elsewhere. So to me, that's what I believe. Not everybody believes that way, and that is fine. Nobody should believe the exact same way. If we did, this place would be a little boring. But, you know, in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and stop here for now. And that was at 9, and then we'll start from 9 and go from there. I hope everybody has a wonderful Monday, and take care of yourself and give yourself lots of love. Love you.